Good morning. Welcome to another live feed on Shoppers YouTube channel. Let's get into the topic I've been doing all week, overcoming anxiety. Let's get into Mark chapter 7, verse 8 and 9, living a plan A life. You have let go of the commands of God and holding on to the traditions of men. He said to them, you have a fine way of setting aside commands of God in order to observe your own traditions. Let's get into it. To overcome anxiety, you need to acquire a singleness of vision and purpose. The question is, are we going to live our life our own way or God's way? Let's call God's way, plan A plan that we accept by faith. Let's call it humankind way, God's way, plan B. A plan that is a natural product of human reason and intuition. God's way are always rational and reasonable. Our ways appear to be rational, but because we have such a limited perspective, we can never know with certainty if we are basing our decisions on all the facts. Nor can we predict with precision what the consequences of our choices will be. That is why God says his ways are not human ways, mankind's ways. When we come to Christ, we still have our own ways of thinking, living programs to our minds. When we didn't know God's ways, we continue to live the way we had always lived. Now that we have the mind of Christ, we can learn God's ways. But until we fully still living according to what God says is true, we will waffle between plan A and plan B. We're committing to live according to plan A. These are our tendencies to live as we have in the past. Mixing our ways with God's ways decrease our commitment to plan A, which is what the Pharisees were doing by observing their own rules and traditions. As a result, they set aside the commandments of God. So it's waffling between plan A and plan B. Creates anxiety for Christians because they are double-minded. An unbeliever may actually experience less anxiety than a mature, uncommitted Christian who will straddle the fence and have both worlds. Unbelievers create their own rationalistic worldview and explanation of reality. If they are responsible people, they can live relatively anxiety-free lives in this world for a time. In fact, they become their own gods. But we shouldn't follow their example, for there's a way that seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. Or choose plan B merely because it seems to provide a less worrisome life in the present. To illustrate this principle, consider marriage. God's plan A for marriage is a long, honest relationship between a man and a woman who are faithful and committed to each other until death separates them. Young couples should be instructed not to consider any other, just even mentally, or they will be tempted to do so. Think about what it will be like to be someone else is a fantasy that will appear to be better than reality. A person who can actually carry on a mental affair with someone other than the spouse. But such fantasies and mental affairs decrease compared to plan A. What would happen if a young couple got married with the understanding that they could just get divorced if the relationship didn't work out? They would probably get divorced. Commitment is what makes the marriage unique. If a wife establishes her own career but she believes the marriage won't last, she is making preparation for plan B. So if a husband is more committed to his job than to his marriage, he's choosing plan B. If we choose plan A, we choose a way of life that's consistent with how the Creator intended us to live. All right, so I'll be in chapter 9 of Jeremiah tomorrow, knowing God and his ways, and that'll be it. I'm done for today. Be back a little later with another live feed. So then, talk to you soon.